Hello and welcome to Talking Live. I'm Dr. Robi Ludwig, right here in Starshot Studio, right in the middle of Times Square. And we have an amazing star with us today. But before we get into it, we want to thank our friends from Immunocologie. It's an amazing moisturizing line. And our friends at Fox's, who also really helped bring this show into being. Paula Patton, you know her well. She's absolutely stunning. She is multi-talented, and she is coming out with a new movie that you must see. It's called Traffik. It comes out April 20th. We're going to talk to her about her dual role. I saw the movie. It just blew me away on multiple levels. Paula, you are a gift.
Oh,
you really are. Thank you. I have to say, I became familiar with your work in Precious. And you just have a beauty and an intellect and a depth that comes across in your acting.
Oh, that's really sweet.
And I really saw the same kind of themes in this movie, which I love. It's a thriller.
Yes.
Is that different for you?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, I've done kind of a thriller suspense before, but this was unique because I think the movie in many ways it defies genre.
It does.
Right, a little bit, because when you started out, it feels like a love story.
It does.
And it's an interesting woman. When you meet her, she's a journalist who is sort of, her career is on shaky ground, and she's unsure of where it's going to be because she's approached it in such an intellectual way instead of getting really more getting her feet dirty and her hands dirty, essentially.
Yes.
And then she has a new love in her life, but she's also someone who's been burned and afraid of commitment. But then she decides to go on this, or is invited and goes on this wonderful romantic weekend with Omar Epps, who plays my man in this.
And the two of you had such great chemistry together. And when reading about it, he said he loved working with you.
Oh, I loved working with him too. We just had so much fun together, and we've known each other in the past. And I don't know, sometimes these things just work. So we have a lot of love, and then of course, right when the love gets even hotter, chaos ensues because we've taken an unexpected stop at a truck stop, and that begins this ball rolling that turns the movie from love story into the suspense thriller, and then takes you into the world of what they call sex trafficking, but I want to make clear is slavery. And
very
then
true.
We're able to impart just a touch of knowledge about this.
I think that's what makes the movie so important for everyone to see. Not only is the acting amazing, and really I was on the edge of my seat, but it brings up a very important issue in a very clever and creative way. And the writer and director, and I'm going to get his name, Deon Taylor, he said that he would not have done the movie without you. That you were key to making this movie, that you embodied what he envisioned the main character, which is a strong, beautiful woman who really could convey strength and vulnerability.
Yeah. Oh,
right? I'm not telling you anything you didn't know.
You said that so well. Thank you, Deon. I appreciate it.
Yes.
If he said it.
He did say it. It was in the research, and I believe every word. No, but and it's true because you do convey that strength. I know when I was watching the movie, I identified with you, especially with the person who was not getting along with the boss. I was like, that's something I would have done. But the characters are very relatable. The friendships, the friends you have that are not getting along well. The new love.
I think that's what was really important to myself and Deon as well. And one of the things that was important to me when I came on board as a director is how do we make all the characters really specific and more like life? Because we know it when two couples are hanging out together, there's always different tension. Nothing's ever perfect between
and there's a little bit of competition going on.
With the men, but what's great is there's a real kind of a sister romance going on between myself and Rosalind Sanchez, who was in the movie. She does an amazing job, just truly excellent.
Yes, and the director said that she was somebody who acted with her eyes, and the two of you also worked really well. Some of the end scenes is really powerful.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really complicated, though, to weave in, scary themes and then important issues. And this, it's either you get it right or you don't get it right. And you also are a producer on this film. So how did you manage both those roles?
Well, I mean, I think that the truth is that, you know what, as an actress, I've always wanted to give in my opinion, whether it was listened to all the time, you know, and because it's not just about my role, but I really want the overall film to be great, or, you know, something that I'd be proud of. And so I'd find by hook or crook, you know, hey, what about this? And it's okay, you keep it, you tell it's your idea, not mine, whatever it takes, so that the movie's good. And now with this, I finally had, you know, the authority essentially that my voice mattered. And so for me,
so there must be no going back after this.
No, I don't think there is. Not much. You know, you want to, there's something about being able to control that, to be honest with you, and to be a part of the collaborative process that filmmaking is.
And I don't know how you feel, but once you kind of grow into yourself and know yourself more, you just want your voice to be heard because you know what you're all about, and you want your work to be filled with purpose.
That's true. I would say that, you know, I mean, this is the gift of getting older.
It is the gift.
Yes, I'm 42, and I'm so thankful for that ride of life, because it helps you really come to know what you really want, and in a very specific way. And now, you know, I no longer want to be an employee. You know, sometimes I'll be the right person, but I also really want to affect change in the workplace, because I think that I think it's probably everywhere, but I'll speak for Hollywood and making films. Have a system of hierarchy that treats people very poorly, and then these hours that are insane. And I really believe there's a way we can make the movies and do it in an enjoyable way. And I'm not to say that we were able to achieve all of that with this film,
but it does sound, that is the impression I got when I was reading some of the director's feelings about the movie, and just who he included and casted in the movie, and his background in sports, and how he brought everybody together.
Right.
I got the feeling that people liked each other, and I think that came across on the screen. I have to say that there was an in-syncness that came across.
Yes, we did. We all had a chemistry, and what you are saying is right. Is that Dion is really great in that he is not, his ego's not in the way, you know, and he understands that you're the captain, and then but that, because it is a collaborative art form, that there's people that are experts at that, and then also a great idea could come from anywhere. It could come from a PA, whoever, and I think that's what that environment was great. We maybe couldn't have paid people what we would have wanted to, but at least they were rich with the experience, and their voice mattered. And so it became very much like making a student film in many ways.
And really there wasn't a big budget for this, which surprised me, because it looked big budget to me.
Well,
but I'm a therapist and I don't make movies, so maybe that's why. But it did.
But you know, the luck we had is we had our DP, Dante Spinotti. He's really remarkable. He did Heat, Last of the Mohicans. He's worked with all of the best filmmakers, and I think, and they had time. Him and Dion had time to scout locations in advance,
and that house,
and the house. And so you had, and also Dion is from Sacramento, which is where we shot. So I think we also got a lot of helpful friends in terms of, you know, spaces that we could use, and really to help maximize the look of the film.
The house was described as another character.
That's true.
In the film, and when you first get there, your character first arrives. It's this glorious, like honeymoon-esque kind of place that who wouldn't want to be in that environment, right? It's a fantasy environment. And then it quickly changes, and it doesn't feel like a fantasy environment. Same location, but the openness no longer feels safe.
Right.
And I thought that there was a metaphor for that in terms of relationships as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Tell me what you're thinking.
Well, because I think, you know, when you start off in a relationship, there's this openness, and it's exciting, and then it can turn depending on the circumstances or who you're with.
It's true. Yeah. I think though that if everybody tells the truth more in relationships, it won't turn so suddenly or be such a shock. You know.
Yes, but not everybody knows the truth about themselves.
This is true.
Yes.
This is true. Sometimes things sleep out.
People don't always know.
But if somebody says, hey, right away, I don't really like the way you just did that. And if you care enough, you'll say, I'll just. And if they don't, then you need to take that clue and go, you know what, this is just not working out for me.
Right,
I think sometimes people go on too long.
Oh, they definitely do.
And they'll see all the problems, but they just kind of ignore it, tuck it under the bed, and keep moving forward. And then you got a real big problem to deal with.
And the other couple in the relationship certainly
exhibited they got a lot of lies.
They had a lot of that,
right? Secrets and lies there.
The director also talked about what inspired making this film, his ignorance he described in terms of understanding about trafficking and not really knowing that it happened domestically, not knowing who was vulnerable. And that's one of the reasons why he wanted to weave this into a thriller type of story, not to preach to people like a documentary can, but to get people curious. And at the end of the film, there's statistics.
Yes.
About this horrible issue.
Yes.
And I have to say, it got me very curious.
Yes.
And saddened. It's sickening. This whole trafficking idea and who's vulnerable. So I really am hoping, and I imagine this is your hope as well, that something will be done in a more aggressive way.
Yes, I think so. I think that you're going to find people that are, just when you bring an issue to light like this, and when truth is revealed, I believe that healing can begin.
Especially if people take the right action.
Absolutely.
And give themselves permission to learn in a new way. So isn't it great to be a part of a film like this? And I don't know if people know this about you, but you didn't start off wanting to be an actress.
Well, I always did love acting.
Oh, you did? It was a secret?
But then, no, it wasn't a secret.
Because you were directing, right? You got into the game late.
I did. So I ever since I was a little girl, I loved to act, and I went to a performing arts high school.
Oh,
but
you
then
did?
I got diverted, and I went to USC Film School, and that's where I graduated.
Because I was actually thinking, I was like, well, it's good to have somebody pretty in, behind the scenes, but even better in front. And you also sing.
I wouldn't go. I can carry a tune. I do enjoy it. Yes, I should. You know what? I should say that it just I haven't pursued that professionally.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
So in this film too, you did all your own stunts.
Yes.
And
but I don't want anybody to get too excited about that. I mean, I think that what's fun is that
no, but it wasn't
too technical. But I think
it was dangerous. It was on this winding road, and when I read that, I was like, "Wow, you're brave."
Well, I appreciate that. It was more that, to be honest with you, you want to do your own stunts in this kind of way because it makes it fun. And I've never been dragged out of a car before, so I wouldn't know the reaction unless somebody does it to me.
Maybe this is why I almost failed out of drama. I'd be like, no, I'm not doing my own stunts. I don't know. I think that's scary, but I think it's great that you did it. I think it added a realness.
Yes.
Because there were parts of the film that were not glamorous.
Right.
Which is a departure, really. I mean, it was interesting in terms of the sexuality that we see that is both consensual and non-consensual. So it certainly brings up themes of sexuality in this movie as well. There's so many themes. So I really hope everybody goes and sees it because I want to hear the feedback. But there are a lot of important topics that were addressed.
I think that it's a film that certainly makes people want to talk, but I just hope that most importantly, people go and realize that it's a fun ride.
Yeah.
It's meant to entertain you.
It's fun if you like being scared.
Yes. As long as you aren't thinking about your bills or troubles, that's the deal.
And that's really the beauty of what you do. It takes us away from our everyday lives and helps us enjoy a special moment and relate and perhaps even learn new aspects about ourselves and what's important to us.
This is true.
And that's your goal, really, as an actress.
My goal as an actress is to entertain people first and foremost, without question. If you can impart a bit of knowledge along the way, that's gravy. Because I don't think that people want to go to school when they watch a movie. I think that you want to be able to just, to offer up information.
People probably don't want to go to school when they go to school. So.
That's true too.
Yeah.
But I think you want to offer it up and you want to, and people go, oh, 2 + 2 = 4. You give them the 2 and they figure it out from there.
So what's next for you?
Well, next I'm on my way to London. I'm going to start this television show. It's a 8-part series for the Stars Network. It's called The Rook.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm playing a villain. It's fun.
Oh, that would be lots of fun. Yeah. So an evil villain, a murderous villain?
Well, I don't know any kind.
Yeah.
We'll see. We shall see.
Now, there was a fun fact that I came across, and it has to do with Meghan Markle.
Yes.
And she helped you with your wedding invitations?
This is true.
Is that true?
It is
and
true.
And that you said that she should be royal?
Well, at the time, she does have a very regal air. She was very kind and just sweet girl, but young woman at the time. And but just her ability at the calligraphy and just her manner, just I couldn't think of someone more perfect.
Well, yeah, it must be interesting to have that experience with her and then to see her in the news.
It is.
So let's see. I think we have talked about all the exciting things in the movie. The takeaway is for people to be entertained.
Absolutely.
And then
if it
inspires some curiosity.
Your mind a little bit. It's a good thing. But
we do something here called the Quick 5.
Okay.
Where we like to get in a little bit deep in terms of learning a little bit more about you so your fans can know what you're really like. Okay. So here's the first question. It's kind of a lighter question.
Okay.
What are some of the nicknames you have for your coworkers?
Oh,
Any nicknames?
Oh, we started doing a car thing, so it was DeLorean Dion. What was Omar? I used to joke about Omar. What did I say? Omar was Volvo. Oh,
that's funny. That's funny.
And then what did we do with everybody else? I can't remember, but we had started a rant, the three of us, on cars and like going back and forth with what we could find.
And did they have a nickname for you?
Ferrari P.
Oh, that sounds like a good nickname.
I'll take it.
I like it. That's good. I've had worse.
Yeah,
I've had worse nicknames.
Could have been Pinto.
Right.
Remember those
Dart was probably mine. There you go. Something really sexy. Who inspires you?
Oh, gosh. I would say my son inspires me because I think children really... he forced me to be a better person.
I agree. They give us an opportunity to want to be better.
Absolutely. And I'd love to say this, though, because I've just made this discovery in life is that we shouldn't say to our children, do as I say, not as I do.
Oh, no.
It's really confusing. No, you got to just be an example for them, you know?
Yes.
Or I just think that's where we've gone a little wrong with that one.
I agree. And I also believe in raising children without shame.
I agree with that.
We don't want to shame our children. We want them to feel comfortable talking to us and know that we are there to back them and guide them.
Yes.
Just my own personal thought. Who do you aspire to be like?
I don't. I think
that
would be a foolish thing. You gotta figure yourself out, huh?
Yeah. What question do you hate to answer? I'm sure you get asked a lot of things that may not be fun.
I don't hate it, but it's a difficult one for me. Is like, what's your favorite this or that? Mm-hmm. I don't really have like.
Am I asking any of that? Hopefully not. No.
It's not a hate thing. It's just a difficult one for me because it's always a few or you forget, and sometimes some things are favorite for whatever reason. So that's always a challenge.
Yeah, that's a little bit hard, and it can change.
This is true.
Right? So it can change.
And you don't want to be held to it.
Do you think of yourself as naughty or nice?
A little bit of both.
Yeah, me too. That's why we're in sync. Okay. What is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Oh, gosh.
And that's a hard one.
I've heard a lot. But I actually read, if I may, I found a quote that I think is really great.
Share it.
And fate loves the fearless. Do you know, I say, that's
a good one.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Fear is a pointless emotion. It's okay to be, scared, but fear is a different thing. That's very paralyzing. And it's like the end of these movies, like Raiders of the Lost Ark or what have you. You have to step off that cliff, not knowing if anything's there, and then the pillar rises to support your foot.
I always say to the people I work with, feelings are not facts.
That's true.
And they do change.
They do.
So it's important to act on your goals. You certainly are a person who does that in a way that we all benefit. So I am thrilled to have you. And I have one thing before we go. My sister is a huge fan of yours. And she is a designer.
No way.
And she said, please give this as a gift to Paula. And also a book I wrote called Your Best Age Is Now is in here for you. So you have reading for the plane, and you have sexy things to wear, and she designs for skinny, pretty people like you. So here you go.
Oh, that's very sweet.
It's for you.
I love gifts. best ages now. That's really crazy.
Yes. Yeah,
you know
I signed it.
I really love this. I have to tell you. Because people you shouldn't be afraid of getting older or telling people your age, because it will help everybody like not be scared to get older.
That's right.
There's one thing that will never change is the fact that you will get old.
And that I write, there's a lot of myths. Yeah, there's a lot of myths about aging, but it's also possible to feel better than ever before and to be more beautiful than ever before.
That's really great.
So I hope to dispel the myths. And listen, if you want to write a movie and star in it, I support it.
All right.
There, I don't know how you do it, but there you go.
But let's focus on Thursday. And I love that it's now.
Oh, it is.
I really believe in living in it now.
And your best age is definitely now. Thank you for the movie. I love it.
Thank you.
You said that it's definitely a movie that sticks with you and makes you think and made me want to research. So April 20th, go out and see it. Paula is a doll. You love her, and I hope you get a sense of her. And thank you for coming on Talking Live.